Hi, everybody. I don't know how many of you are out there yet. I think I've seen several talking in the chat, but I have no idea how many people are there. This is really me, not a premiere. I'm here to answer questions and look at some stuff for you. A little bit of housekeeping. Put questions in caps, and I'll get to them as time allows. I did pick up some questions during the 9 candles. And so I'm going to go through and answer some of those. I'm going to talk about where the channel goes from here, where we're going to kind of move towards. One of the things you'll see it in the questions, but I got a couple questions about how do I learn about all these things you do. And when I first started the garden, it was I'd read for a long time. I'd read at table for a long time, and I was doing Zoom clients for my tarot practice, but I wasn't doing anything like shows and things. And I began to get those kinds of questions at that time too. Everybody was locked up with COVID. They didn't know, they couldn't get out. They really kind of wanted to understand more about what we did. I found out in talking to a lot of people, we just rattle off things like, well, 5 means change and da 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 da. And a lot of the people who are watching the shows didn't have a good framework for any of that. So the the theory of the garden is that it's a place where people can learn to come and plant their spiritual gifts and grow. And so what I want to do is try to help people get a better framework. I've always kind of like that comment. If the only tool you have, everything looks like a hammer, well, I totally agree with that. I'm going to turn the sound off on my phone. Hold for a second. It's going doing, and I don't want it to go doing. Okay, now it's going to be quiet. Be good, phone. Um, if all the only tool you have is a hammer, everything you attack is going to look like a nail, and that may not be appropriate. Everything is not a nail. So what I'm going to try to do is go back to where I started and revamp, and with more knowledge that I have now, try to bring all the disciplines forward. I'm not an astrologer, so I can't read a chart, but I certainly can understand the basics of what makes a chart work. I know numerology because I think it's sort of the key to understanding tarot. I ended up learning sacred geometry and a whole lot about the crystals just by building grids. I'll be talking about the theory about building grids or pulling crystals together for your own use if you just have stones in your home, and where to use them and how to use them. So my Tuesdays are going to be a whole lot like that. But to begin with, I'm going to look at some questions that I got. And I'm going to be reading from the garden. So I'm going to switch the garden into my face. And it says, TJ, can we look at what the hell's is going on with me and how April will look? March has been rough. And I think March has been rough for a lot of people. So TJ, I'm going to throw some stones. And I'm going to interpret them for you. And if you're new to my channel, you probably haven't seen the garden before, because I did pick up quite a number of new subscribers, and hopefully this is the first Tuesday they've been able to make it in. So anyway, TJ's April. Oh, looks good, TJ. I think you're going to see a change in fans. For those of you who don't know what the garden is something I channeled in last year. This got channeled in after I had a channel called The Garden. And in the garden, all these little parts are like little parts of the garden, kind of, I think, like, look at it like a knot garden. And the outer edge are the chakras, these big triangular ones. And then there's words like past, restate, false, path forward, present, future, true, go for it. Those are the other words, and they all relate to the stones. And then we have fire, water, air, and earth, which are the basic elements. And then the stones. This stone is a fusite. It represents the human body, and that is interpreted in that way in yourself. The yellow calcite, yellow orange calcite, is the mind. Of course, this amethyst is the spirit. And then you have grounding, which is pyrite. And I don't know if you've ever handled a pyrite stone, but they're a lot heavier than you would think looking at the size the stone is. That's just a characteristic of pyrite. And the last stone is sodalite, and that's for clarity. So we're going to do these in the order body, mind, spirit, that way. And your bodies says that if you've been feeling really off in March, you're going to feel better, because as you get and I can see from where some of the stones are attaching, you're going to feel a little more enlightened, a little more settled down, and your body clearly responds to where your spirit is. Physical form is tied to the freedom of your heart, and so that's means that you should be feeling somewhat better in the coming months. Then your mind is in water, and when our mind is in water, what's going to happen to you is you're going to be letting go of limitations. Now, there's a little bit of your mind that's in go for it, and you read that one too, and your thoughts are leading you into the right way. So just don't, if you get a thought and you go, oh, I can't do that, don't write it off. Go for it, because it says go for it. And your mind is letting go of limitations. That's really an important thing to understand about yourself right now. And your spirit is in third eye. And when your spirit's locked up in the third eye, spirit helps your vision so you can actually see around the corner. You're going to get a whole lot of intuition in the next month. I think some of this month you felt a little bit cut off, and like you didn't have you felt like you were flying blind. Well, you're not. Listen to your intuitions. They're going to be very strong for you. Now, your values are between your fire, which fire in the elements that I use, this is south, this is the ancestors, this is can actually be past lives, depending on how the stones roll out. And for you in this case, clarification comes from there's some things from your past you're having to deal with, and boy are you, because your stone actually ended up in past. And it said, look for the patterns that have worked. Instead of worrying about what hasn't happened, look for the patterns you've used in the past to make things work. Because you've got your clarity is an air. Air is thoughts and actions. And it's telling you that when your thoughts are clear, all can move forward. And these are telling me if you trust your intuition and your body's just going to kind of come along with this, you're going to feel much better in the month of March. So I think that's a good thing. Okay. Leah. Leah watched me, and this question came out of comments that were after I was on with Linda G on that day. She wants to know if I see us getting equal pay, about women getting equal pay, like soon, anytime soon. She'll take anytime soon. Well, the energies are definitely swift moving towards the feminine divine. So we're going to look and see. You can also tell at some kind of time. This is winter, spring, summer, fall. And I think spring and summer, things are going to come up about this issue about equal pay for women. And the movement around that's going to be grounded in our bodies are in fire. And it says embody your past. And I think in this case, it means you have to take care of that a little more. I mean, you have to be aggressive and push for and watch for the chances to make that happen. Our mind is in go for it and true. And your thoughts are leading the way, and positive thoughts will help you manifest these changes, will help women manifest these changes. And we've got really cool, because this thing is not a chakra, it's a tree of life. But it says that it says, don't fall for fool's gold. Look for what's truly abundant. Learn your lessons from harmony. And the crown says, this is going to give us the energy, women, the energy to connect to the correct energies to make this pattern happen for us. And what we have, our spirit and our clarity, is in earth. And earth is where things emerge from. And that's good, because that means it's something that's coming up and growing towards us. And spirit's transforming this, but it's not yet finished, which would tell me may take a while longer than when. I mean, it should happen 40 years ago, first time I went to work, but many paths are ahead of us, and we're going to be able to find the right ones. So I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow. I do think it is going to happen. I think things are aligning to change where the individual and their work is more respected. So this next question, let me see. Okay. Oops. I did something wrong. Okay. I'm new to this, but old. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'm beginning to learn every day. This group, and this is one of the comments, EMC. As I said, I'm going to start going back to the beginning of when I was running my channel and go back to the real basics: numbers, tarot, different divination tools that are available, how to work with a pendulum. But I'm going to take a day and talk about each one of those and go into some detail, because I found that when I started reading for people, and especially on Zoom, I would be talking about all these things like they knew. If you're a reader, you know this stuff because you deal with it all the time. They didn't feel like they knew what they needed to. So we're going to bring it back, and hopefully, and I'll have chances for you to, if you're subscribed to my channel, you'll have chances to ask questions. And this one, I'm going to just switch over to me. So true that the elementals are dealing with so much toxicity on all levels. We pray for the elementals, sending them love every day, especially the water spirits, which we're hurting them. And since I'm working with elementals, that's another thing I'll be talking about quite a bit. This is CATTT01. Do you have any videos about people moving into higher states of consciousness, changes to expect within, etc., of your experience when you were a newbie in astrology and elementals? This is going back to the same thing, except I guess she didn't hear the part that I started I just picked up a deck of tarot cards at 12 and I could read them. So there's some things I kind of had to go back, and when I taught tarot, I learned a lot about what I really knew about tarot. So if Cat 01, keep your eye on this channel, because we're going to be doing this. And this is the next thing we're going to do. I have a thing, it's called Mountain of Gold. And what you do, so if you guys want to get your stuff together to do this, you're going to paint 8 river rocks, or just any, I mean, if you live in a place that has a river and you can just go get some cute little rocks out of the river, that's lovely. Don't go stealing your neighbor's landscaping. You can buy the rocks either at a garden store or at a craft store, and you're going to need some gold paint. And I'll go through the whole thing about what we do, and it's really simple. It's not hardly complex, but I will go through the whole what my research over the years has shown me about it, and I need to refresh my stones. You end up piling these stones like a little mound right by your front door, and it attracts prosperity into your house. And so, because I mentioned that on one of the shows, and somebody said, how do I put gold rocks by my door for energy? So now we're going to go to comments, and I'm going to see. I'm going to take a minute and look for people. If you wrote it in caps, I found one. When will my health improve? I've been sick on and off for the past 5 years. Okay. Let's see, we can find out about Linda's. Ooh, okay. Well, you got your body in true. And when the body falls in true, it says yes. And I was asking, will your health improve? It said yes. Now, I think you're not, this spring, you're going to start, some of it's going to happen. Well, we're into spring now, so that was last winter. Some's going to happen in the spring, but this part's summer, and that's where most of your stones are. So a lot of it is your own mental energy right now, and your mind, your how you wake up every day and what you think. Oh, you know what? You can't see what I'm pointing at. That's not clever. Okay, there's your true. That says yes. This says that where your thoughts are all important, and it's going into the present, and that means soon. When things show up in the present, it means soon. And it said, you're already getting some signs or some clues. You've either started a regimen or you've figured something out, and maybe taking something out of your diet, put something in your diet. But you're doing something right now that's really going to help. This is in the spring, which we just started. This summer, things ought to go really well because your spirit's in the path forward. And balance your energies to move ahead. That's really all important to you. And don't get yourself aligned with what hurts. Get yourself aligned with what feels better. And you've got a new emerging clarity for yourself because things grow out of the earth. They move forward from the earth. And some of your pain is caused by a certain amount of emotional baggage, which I think you've been dealing with because of where all these other stones are. But you need to be careful that you don't get yourself into a pity party. And your grounding or your values are in earth, which more is being brought forward for you every single day. And this one also does the same as this. It says you need to clarify dealing with some things from your past. But I think your health is going to be improving. This thing would show me what pulls you back is you start to get better. And I don't know if you go back worrying about that you're not going to get better or this is false, a false thing. So, okay, let's see who else has a question. You're welcome, Tammy. Tammy, you want to know what the hell's going on? Okay. Can you place those stones inside your front door? If you put them outside your front door and they're going to get ripped off, yeah. I mean, they just need to be near the entry of the door, and you could put them inside the front door and set them there to attract. There are other things you can do, and it's some feng shui techniques to pull things Oh, Vicky. Yeah, Vicky. I think you did it when we did it a year ago. Vicky Howell says, I had, and you put I bring, I mean, we don't have severe winters in Texas, but we get enough rain and goop and stuff that blows up. And my front door, it's kind of a shielded little place that I keep them in. Um, and so you may want to revamp them, repaint them, look at them. They need to be kind of whole and look good. Okay. I'm gonna go into to find your spirit animal. I'm gonna use this deck. Oh, I have gotten so used to doing premieres and having everything all worked out. I'm going to use the Wild Elemental deck, and we'll see which card we pull for you. Hi, Dr. Gale. I hope you've got some sunshine today and not more rain and ice and crap. We have rain here today, and it's just kind of cool. It's not terrible. Okay. Spirit animal for Dina. Ooh, how pretty. Koi. And I'll read you this book has a wonderful, their descriptions of the things that are in here, absolutely fabulous. And Koi is 16. Okay. For you, Dina. The attributes of the Koi is prosperity, beauty, harmony, balance between the mind and the emotion, and peace. When you have Koi swimming in your life, expect abundance, not only in money, but also resources, luck, love, friendship, opportunities, and creativity. This is a time to take advantage of all that you are being offered and have access to. It's an ideal time to work on your transformation that you've been dreaming about. So that's your spirit animal for the time being. I think our spirit animals change. My spirit animal that I've had since I was a child was a raven, but my spirit animal for my crystal directions for what I'm doing right now is the dragonfly. Okay. It's kind of a yes/no question, and unfortunately, the one drawback of my garden is it doesn't do yes/no real well. It does broad brush situations, and it doesn't do politics, which makes it an absolute blessing. So you can't read that on here, but we can pull some cards for you. Let's see. I don't have all the room in the world, guys, here, so I have to kind of move everything around. When I pick one thing up, I have to make another space for it to be in. Okay, so Jennifer Schwab. Will I move to South Carolina by this fall? Okay, so you're going to move to South Carolina by this fall. Okay. Oh, I'd say yes, dear, you are. And I'll tell you what I see about it. These 5 cards, this is the past, this is right now, and this is the future. And things in the past have already happened, so they have a point each. Where you are right now is you're in the middle of developing information and contracts. So this is your planning to go there right now. where you've been's been okay, but some things have happened there that have just made you feel like you need to get away from this. And you've got the devil and then mentally stuck. This will get you unstuck from the kind of turmoil that your life's been in a little bit over here. And I think you're going to be handling the devil as opposed to being tied to them. You're going to be striking freedom from them. I don't know if that really fits your situation, but what I see is definitely yes, 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 yes. So that's 4. This is a 5 yes. And the only thing you have is your own mental reservations and the fact you need to get out of where you are. So I would say that those cards said, yes, you're going this fall. Okay, let's see if anybody else has questions. Okay. I've gotten entrenched now in meditating every day, and they're getting much stronger. I'm feeling wonderful afterwards. Am I really connecting? Well, if you're feeling all that kind of wonderful, Vicky, you're going to be fine. It's so funny because today, when I was just sort of looking for something to listen to, I have a way of connecting my YouTube stations into my shower. And my shower today, I took a shower with Joe Dispenza. And he was talking about how, when you meditate for a long time, you'll get to a point you'll go, this isn't working. And you'll get up. And he said, that's exactly the day you need to stay and hang through and do whatever you need to get to whatever point you need to feel yourself getting into to move forward. And it's just, I really feel like, I know Vicky too. Vicky's one of my happy gardeners, but I know Vicky is a person who's working on a lot of different things. And there's always going to be, until a certain point, there will be a sort of a shadow of a doubt. Am I just conning myself? That's just the parts of you that want to pull you backwards, trying to talk to you. So I think you're doing really well, Vicky. And I don't even need to lay a card to kind of look at that one. Someone, meet her, Sangrita. Okay, she's got a question in here somewhere. Oops. I got this question from this person and I can't find it. She's got to be in the chat somewhere. But oh, here it is. Okay. And then I'll go back and catch the other ones. Okay. Oh, this is a perfect question for the garden. Well, you got get some good chakras. First of all, you need to start with your root chakra, and that's right here. And the root chakra is where all of our energy comes into our body. And when you go through things like divorce, that can be one of the chakras that will close down. But your root chakra's got clarity in it. You need to go back and tie to the wisdom you have from your very base to begin to build and move up. And you need to go through your mind. Restate is a funny place on my garden. Restate's where you have to kind of go in and the answer's in there, but you need to kind of weed it out. And your mind is in restate. And it says you need to think and rethink, but not get trapped in old thoughts. You need to think about how you're viewing the situation and how maybe you should change your point of view on the situations. And instead try to figure out where your life's going from now. And I know that's really hard when you've been going through being divorced. I remember my first I only had one divorce. I should say my first divorce. But when I divorced from my first marriage, I've had two marriages. Um, I remember I just had to go inside myself and I couldn't touch or feel or think anything because I had to take care of two little kids. And I remember one day, about 9 months after I'd gone through the divorce, I was walking outside of headquarters, worked for a major corporation at the time. And I was walking with my coworkers. And I had been so cut off from my own feelings. I hadn't even felt the wind or anything like that on myself. And as I was walking down the sidewalk, a rush of wind came up, and it was very lovely and refreshing. If you've ever lived in Texas, you understand almost any time the wind blows, it's lovely and refreshing. And I went, "Oh, the wind." And everybody looked at me like I was nuts because, of course, the wind's here, but I had not felt the wind. I had so closed myself off. And I realized when I got back in my car, I needed to quit doing that. I needed to start feeling things again. And that's going to happen to you. You're going to find days when you feel better and it moves across faster. Your other major, your energy or your grounding is in throat and third eye. And in the throat, it says you need to talk, you need to find people you can talk to. You need to talk it out. You need to find yourself someone to be your sounding board who can listen to you and hear what you're saying. And your third eye, um, this being out here where it is tells me you're soon going to be able to manifest a different life, a new life, and a life in your changed circumstance and feel better. And I have a feeling this is going to happen in the summer and the fall for you. Your two ones in the middle. What's emerging for you right now is your spirit, and your spirit is coming out of the earth. It's growing, and its spirit's transforming, but it's not yet finished. So don't push yourself. I mean, it's a transition, it's a change, it's a time for you to learn to have a new way of living with your life. And your body is in earth also, and its physical changes are beginning to happen around you, and you're beginning to feel some. I think some days you feel better and you almost feel like I'm not supposed to feel better because I'm going through this miserable time. Well, you're not going to be there forever. And fire and you're going to grow beyond where you've been and what you thought your answers had to be. I hope that helps you, dear. I'm going to go find. Okay, I'm back to where I need to be. Okay. Prince Charming's fun. Why do I keep hearing? Oh, wait, Mr. Postman. And now it's popped up on YouTube. I'm thinking about it. I'm old enough to know this song too. Mm. You're waiting for a message. That's what it's telling you. That if you think about the lyrics in that song, it says, "Wait, Mr. Postman, you got a message for me." And I think something's going to come to you really quickly, but I'm going to throw a card on that and see if my impression's right. Where'd they go? Yeah, there. My simple, easy to read cards. These don't look like traditional tarot, but they're based on traditional tarot. They're called Life is Like a Board Game. I think they're lots of fun. So let's see, are we right? Is is Prince Charming's mom about to get a big message? Oh, yeah. And look, the lovers. Lovers can also mean making choices. Originally, the lovers card in the original ancient Italian tarot decks was choice. And then it became the lovers when people decided that's the choice you're making. It can mean lovers. I think in this case, it's going to be Something's going to be handed to you that's going to offer you a choice. It's going to make you very happy. Good for you, Prince Charming's mom. Get back to me and let me know. Okay, and where are we? Okay. Oh, thank you. I enjoyed your reading too. Okay. Will my move to Europe, France be successful? And thank you for your commitment to us. Oh, okay. That's lovely. Okay. I think I'm going to do a yes, no on that, just because it's a little bit quicker and probably a lot plainer to you. I'm going to pull the cards over and not deal them on the table because they don't deal well on that cloth. They like to move it around. Okay. Trip to Europe. We'll move. Where are you moving in France? I don't know much about France. I know England. Yes, and it's clearing. It's something you'd wanted to do a long time ago, and somehow or another you got waylaid for it. There's moments of the glory in this garden that's really working out for you right now. You've had some. It's really going to bring you freedom because this is the Eight of Swords reversed. So it's going to bring you freedom. It's going to get you away from some grief and sorrow and some patterns that you weren't happy with. And this is your best card on this. It's the supporter of ambition and business success. So I think it's going to be really exciting for you, Vernie. It looks good. And you are getting away from a situation. You may have been just feeling trapped from COVID. Who knows? Okay, I'm going to read this one, but it wasn't in capitals. It makes it harder for me to find them. Heather, psychic medium, healer, and clairvoyant. Ooh. You know, when I ask people, what do you see is happening around me? That you're the clairvoyant, you're supposed to know. They don't know we can't read our own cards. I don't know if that's true for you, Heather, but I can. Okay. Well, I'd say that's pretty close. Go. Why did I get a feeling? Do you have to move to Berea, Kentucky? I think you're going to move to someplace close to it. There's going to be some, but it's whichever way you go, it's going to be okay for you because the devil's reversed. You're going back to reconnect with some people. They may not be as available as you would like. You're going to have to change some of your expectations on this trip. But the biggest problem is I think you're going there and you think you have a contract or some way to live. I think there's going to be some hiccups along the way. I think I'm going to throw this in the garden too. But it says for you to go. But I think some of what your expectations of what's going to happen when you get there are not on the mark. So I'm going to see. Okay. I'm going to see eventually. Good. Ooh. All very, everything lands in the middle means you're really, really in root things in your life. And your body is in fire. You have a really strong, this is your body, but your body has been tied to that place in the past. I think you've had past lives there. I think that's why you feel comfortable there. I think you need to connect to whatever that connection is inside yourself before you move. Mind is in air. Yeah, part of going there is going to be to find that part of yourself that you think you've lost, and you're going to be able to let go of limitations. But the way you think about things is all important in this deal. And your spirit's between earth and air, which means your spirit is still transforming in how it feels about this, but it's going to love it once it gets there. It's going to be completely transformed, as will your thinking about some things. We've got values are in air and water and air. Grounding, you need to ground yourself because you want to set yourself up into some long-term patterns, and your mental actions and your ability to work with the things that are there are going to be all important to you, and your clarity about how this is going to come about. You're going to figure out the right way to deal with all the situations that are there. I don't know who the person is or what the situation is that you think you're going back there for, but I think you're going back there because you've had a lot of past life experience with that and that place, and it's going to be successful. But I think I'd go into it with as open a mind as I possibly could if I were you. Okay, Vicky and Dina are having a lovely conversation here. I'm trying to figure out if there's some more questions. Okay. Okay. A real question. Okay. What is the point of so much negative male energy towards women? Thanks. Oh, well, that's the death of the patriarchy. In Pisces, it was for men to dominate women, and they're used to that, and therefore they don't have to work for their position in life. They're like born on third base, and they think they almost hit a home run kind of mentality. Uh, and they can feel energetically that power is slipping away from them. And it's up to us as women to support other women, because I think the worst reflection of the negative male energy that's coming towards women is when women don't support other women and don't give them a chance. So let's see. Oh, good. So apparently I must have some of the right chords with you. I think it's going to be very successful for you from what I saw. But I think I'd use a little bit of my own spidey sense on this and see how you think you're related to them to that particular time. Okay. Okay. Later in 2023. Okay, let's see. I'll put it in the garden. I think New Zealand seems like the sort of place that fits in the garden. Ooh. You're planning. You've got all those things that are working on it. Part of you really loves this idea, but there's a part of you in your spirit that's not aligned with it yet. For this trip to be as successful as possible, you got to get your spirit energy behind it a little bit more. And your mind, the earth. Your final thoughts are coming about the situation, which will help with that. And also, there's something from your past that is kind of keeping you pulled back, but you're going to become aware of it and be able to work with it. Your body right now is in, yeah, this is you've got some past issues you need to kind of get over, either about traveling or about where you're going, uh, in order to get this up and running completely. But your clarity comes in your root, and if you can, and it says you can do this because this rock's telling me, if you tie to your cosmic wisdom, to your inner self. And hi, Jeffrey. Jeffrey just showed up. He said, "I'm live." Yes, I am, Jeffrey. Um, if you can tie to the cosmic wisdom, and I think that's what's going on. I don't think your spirit's with you yet, but these two being where they are, they're the two most important stones I feel like in this reading, and that kind of stuff I just read in the garden instinctively. Your mind really is ready, set to go. You just have to figure out what false assumptions you're carrying forward about the trip. But I think it looks positive. I'm going to throw a card on it too. If you've never seen the garden read before, and you probably haven't unless you've been to my channel, because I'm the only person who reads it, I sell them. They're a great tool to work with. They can help you open up a whole lot of yourself. But and the reason I sort of stumble is I channeled this in a year and a half ago, and I've been working with it, but it's not nearly as quick for me as the cards and other things. But the sense I have of connection to your questions is a lot stronger. Except I can't shuffle today. Other than that, I'm doing fine. Okay, here we go. Mel's trip to New Zealand. What can you tell me in the plain yes no realm? Get you off. Oh. Okay, I think I see what the problem is. Right now, this is where you are. And this is the Five of Cups in a traditional deck. In this deck, it's called Damn, this place sucks. So some of what you're feeling, you need to be sure. I think you are sure that there's a lot of wisdom and information and stuff you're going to get from this trip just by taking your energy to the energy that's in New Zealand. But it's a place where for you to start and create some new creativity and stability for yourself with the Ace of Pentacles. It is going to help you break out of a grief pattern that you've been going through. It's going to help you break away from being mentally stuck. And it's kind of exciting for you because you feel like in some ways your life just got too predictable and you want a way out. This reading is a yes, 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 yes. No. But the no-nos modify what the yeses are about. So I don't know if you're going on that trip alone, because the out card is restful solitude way, but I think you're going to find some answers for yourself that you haven't been able to get before. So I think you're going to have a good time. Oh, Celtic Seer, you did write it in caps and I missed it. Can you type it again, Celtic Seer? I can't find it. And I kind of go nuts after I look at this thing flash by me too much. So, sorry, dear. I want to answer your question. But, okay. Okay, if you could type it again, Celtic Seer. I'm sorry. No, you actually, the one card that was most positive, this is her feedback questions. Planning now, working on my body and shape, hoping I can get some good memories from it. Yeah, you're going to have the money that you had the Ace of Pentacles. You'll have the money you need to go there. So don't worry about that. Thank you, Vernie. Thank you. Oh, you're traveling with a group, but I think you're going to find what you need for yourself. Above Prince Charming. Goodness me. Okay, ouch. No. That's not the one you're looking for. That's the one that's above Prince Charming. This is really fascinating. People watching me read the chat on the side. Okay. A spirit animal. I can't find it. And I'm about to go blind doing this. So, new comments. We're going on news card. Okay. You rewrote it. And hi, Celtic Seer. It says, okay, I saw that you said it's above Prince Charming. I'm talking to Celtic Seer. And then you said you rewrote it. If you rewrote it, I don't know where it went because the only comment, see bottom button. I don't know, Celtic Seer. 2 from rewrote. 2 up from rewrote. Okay, hide current comment. Okay. Do you have a timestamp on it? Can you see the time on it, Celtic Seer? There's like 151 or 152, or if you can get it that way, I can find it. Above Sharon Sipe. Okay. I see hello, Sharon Sipe. Then I see that you say you rewrote it. And above, and then it says above Prince Charming. Either I'm blind or I'm going nuts. Questioning caps written above. I have at 144. You told me you wrote one and I'd missed it. So I'm doing this one more time for you, lady, because I like you. We got it. Yeah. Vicky Hall. Oops. I really can't see it. And I'm all the way up to a half hour ago. I don't know where it went. Okay. Okay, I'm going above Prince Charming's mom and the Mr. Postman. And I'm into Vicky Howell's meditation question. And moving to South Carolina, which is not you. I know you're not moving out of Manhattan. That I know of. Cold Toast doesn't see it either. And you thank me for persevering. Thank you, Mel. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Email me. You've got my email, Celtic. I'll get back to you that way. I really don't see it. And I don't know if Cold Toast doesn't see it either, then I don't know what to say. I do know what to say. It's almost time for us to close. So I'm going to pick a spirit animal for all of us today. And I chose the cougar. And I'm going to have to switch screens again. Okay. And cougar attributes: the proper use of leadership and power, balancing power, intention, strength, and grace, self-confidence, freedom from guilt, sensuality, cunning, and a bit of an enigma. A solitary cat, when you catch the cougar prowling into your life, he's bringing to you a message that you have come into your own power. Now is the time to take the lead in a situation. Now is the time to be strong. He is there to let you know that now is the time to leap into all the opportunities that are made available to you. Using the power of intention, be clear with your purpose and define for yourself where you're heading. And I think when we're looking at so much change going on around us, it's really important for you to, with the new moon, and the next couple of moons are going to be new moons are going to be eclipses. The lunar cycle is going to go into an eclipse cycle, and the eclipses aren't so good for making big intentions on. So I've been told by Dorothy Morgan, and she ought to know. That's what she does. And like I said, I'm going to be putting together a lot of shows about tips and tricks and little rituals you can bring back into your life now. And I hope you'll show up. I'm going to be posting things on YouTube. Oh, I know the other thing. I had told people when I reached 4,000 members that I would give away a grid. So I'm going to do it. I'm not going to start it on today's reading. I'm going to start it on the next, probably in a week, probably when I do the Goldstones. Hi, Nancy Cast Tarot. So I know people have said, I'd love to have a grid. I just can't afford it and stuff. I totally understand that there's lots of things I'd like to have that I can't afford. I don't sell enough grids. But I'm going to give away to my membership. And you're going to have, in order to be eligible to be in the drawing, they can set it up where I can draw off the people who learn what the code word is that day. And I'll probably set it up next Tuesday and give 5 days out on the web for it to be valid. But you have to be a member of my channel. I mean, not a member. You have to be a subscriber of my channel. And I will give the password, whatever it is. And will I be doing YouTube shorts? Honey, I have so many things I have to do. And my tech support, I do not do I tape the things, or I can set this one up because I can do it on my own. But tech support is kind of swamped. They work in a very busy world. And I don't know. I'd have to find out what it takes to do a YouTube short. My bachelor's degree was in broadcast film, and I know how to edit film and do all that stuff, except I used to edit reel to reel, not the electronic way they do it. And actually, when I think about sitting down and editing anything, I lose it completely. So I imagine it would take some kind of being able to do, I know that I talked to Dorothy Morgan about this. She has a couple short things she does, and they take her at least 30 minutes of planning so you can get all the words scrunched down into the box you need to put them in. But I don't know. I don't know. I know I'm not going to do TikTok or any of that stuff. Don't understand it. This is as complicated as I want to get. If you want to buy a grid, it's $250. And the reason for that is that you have a meeting with me. We do kind of a quick reading on where you are. Then you pick out of a set of cards I have what vibration you want to be put on that grid. Then I have to go get all the stones, get it all together, build it, mail it to you with a wand and all that stuff, and explain to you how to fire it up. And then that 250 would include a second meeting where we fire your grid up if you have problems with that. I mean, some people fire them up. One woman said it was vibrating when she got it at the post office. So, and I'm sure the postal worker, if he felt that too, was really excited about a vibrating box in his post office. But they're very powerful and interesting things. I'm also going to talk more about the eggs. I'm going to talk more about the gardens. The eggs are my heart chakra, throat chakra eggs that help you maintain and strengthen those chakras. I got a whole lot of stuff to go back over and start talking to everybody about it again. And I'm really excited to have everybody here. I was very excited. I think the 9 candles went very well. I think they were well watched. And I thank every single one of you who've been here from the nitty gritty beginning in December of 20 to now. And I want to thank all of y'all for following me, because if you guys aren't out there watching us, we're just talking to ourselves. And the problem is, for most of the readers I know, that's what we'd sit at home and do anyway. So at least we have an audience now. And you take care, and I will see you next week. Bye, Jeffrey.